Hi everybody, hope you're doing well. Today we're going to cover prep2grow's stock option alerts. The things we're going to cover about it are the alert schedule, additional learnings, and we're going to dig into the recommendation alerts themselves. So when do you get the alerts? Stock and option and stock subscribers receive their recommendations on Monday and Thursday every week by 9 a.m. EST. You'll receive them via email, or if your subscription allows it, via text, or through the member area on prep2grow.com. Active traders, you all are the ones that get our recommendations every single day. You'll receive them via email, and you'll receive them on the member area on prep2grow.com. Again, all alerts are posted to prep2grow.com in the member area. Alerts are sent via email and text, and alerts will not be sent on days the U.S. stock market is closed. Some other learnings that are important. The first is the Prep2Grow Stock Option Strategy Guide. It's on our website. It'll be in the description below. Recommend that you read that. It really outlines the strategy behind the recommendations and how to use them effectively. It's critically important for the active traders to use that, since on average we provide anywhere from 18 to 12 recommendations per day. It's important to understand how to whittle that down a little bit more so that it fits more of your trading strategy. The second is understanding the Prep2Grow option recommendation, which is essentially a written version of this video. It contains more details on the calculations for things, the definition of things, and again, that'll be in the description below, so I highly recommend you read that. The other is that we have step-by-step tutorials for E-Trade, Robinhood, and TD Ameritrade Thinkorswim. That's great to take the recommendation and go through the step-by-step guide, and that'll really walk you through how to use the recommendation on your platform of choice. We're always adding new tutorials, so if you have any recommendations on platforms that we should build tutorials for, please send them our way. We'd love to have them. Let's dig into the recommendation itself. There's quite a lot of detail in here, so I'm going to narrow it down to the important things. The field by field details and the calculations behind them, again, are on the written version on the prep2grow.com site, and again, will be in the description. Important thing to note first is the day of trading. So that's what this recommendation is good for. If for some reason you don't get the recommendation until 2 or 3 days after the recommended day of trading, my recommendation, or the Prep2Grow recommendation, is to pass on that and wait for the next recommendation to come out. Again, Prep2Grow makes 8 to 12 on average recommendations a day. So there's always another one. Don't feel that you're going to miss out on it. But it's important to note that you shouldn't try to use it if it's a dated recommendation, and that date of trading is what it's meant for. The next important thing is around the option buy details, where we talk about the risk level and the option type and the day of option expiration. Every recommendation we'll make to our Monday and Thursday recommendation, or to the subscribers that are signed up for Monday and Thursday alerts, you will always receive a recommendation that has a mild risk, whether it's an option or a stock. Mild risk essentially means that we've had very good success predicting the price accurately over the past 12 months. Option type's important. You want to look there to make sure that you're buying a put or a call. And if you don't see a stock anywhere within the recommendation, you should not buy this as a stock. We'll have a separate tutorial on the stocks, and we'll cover the same alerts and recommendations for that. The next is the day of option expiration. Prep2Grow takes a very conservative approach to our recommendations, and really the date of expiration is meant to be the worst case scenario. We predict how long it's going to take for this recommendation to meet a targeted gain. And we'll cover a little bit more detail about that as we get to the predicted price and grain section of this. So below that are all the buy details. So the important thing to really stick to is the strike price. So we analyze strike price quite heavily. Strike price is mapped to three things. One is our predicted stock price. So we try to match an option price to a stock price and their movement with each other. We always want a strike price to follow a stock price. So if a stock is going up, we want the option strike price to, or the price of that strike price to also go up. Or if it's a put and the stock price is going down, we want that strike price pricing to also go down. The next is open volume and open interest. Open volume is important because an option that has a strike price with low option volume, if it's low, it won't have a lot of movement in relationship to the underlying stock price. So you want high volume, which means it's pretty closely mapped to the stock price. If it has low volume on an average daily basis, it means that it's not going to follow it. And you really don't want to be in a position where you're seeing a stock go through the roof and you have a great call for it, but your call for some reason has gone in the opposite direction. And we've seen that happen quite a bit with low volume options. So make sure to avoid those at all costs. The next is around predicted price and gain. So this is where we predict the stock price and we predict the average time to a 15% gain. It's important to note that if you're looking at one, we will always provide a recommendation that has a greater than 5% difference between the stock price, plus or minus, that is. We've seen that on average, a stock price that moves more than 1% in either direction, typically the underlying option contract, if it has good volume, will also move in that direction, but also will move on average about 5%. So we try to give you as much room as possible to get into that stock option and have it move in the direction we need it to move in so you can make that consistent gain. The next important thing is around the average days to 15% gain. On a daily basis, Prep2Grow predicts the price of the stock, every stock we track. We also predict the price of an option, and that being a put or a call. So we'll have different days depending on put recommendation or call recommendation for the same stock. So we treat them as all separate entities and we'll all have different dates and predictions for them, which ties into the historical success rate. The 12-month success rate really means how many times did we predict that we should buy this option type. In this case, it's a put. So over the last 12 months, the algorithm predicted that we should buy this option as a put 21 times. And out of 21 times, it predicted the right price 20 times, and it predicted the movement of that within an average of 15 days. An important thing to note around how this all ties together, if you want to tweak it to your own strategy, the things that you would want to look at are the days to 15% gain. You definitely don't want to go below that period if you're trying to get a gain. So if it says 15 days, don't buy an expiration date that's sooner than 15 days. We recommend you actually make it 2x that. So 30 days to 60 days. 60 days would be preferred because you're not fighting time decay. So again, we provide a cautious approach. So our recommendation is to not use this to pull in your expiration date. But if you do, be cautious about it. Make sure you're 2 to 3 times that predicted 15% gain days. Again, it's an average, which means 50% of our predictions hit beyond 15 days. So you want to give yourself some room and some comfort and have less risk. This is the recommendation itself, and this is for options. This is one we made recently, and this option actually executed within the next day, which is, based on the days to gain, not typical for this option. But again, it's a great thing to have our options execute quicker than our predicted time. That's all we have on the recommendation side for stock options. Some of the details around additional material tied to our website will be in the description. If you have any questions, would love to hear from you. Just go to prep2grow.com. We have a chat bot on there. Just bring that up and ask away. But we appreciate your time and happy trading.